Hi, everyone. Ed Bixby here from the Global Green Burial Alliance, and this is Spotlight Now. Today, I'm sitting with Becs Bartells from Outside the Box Caskets, which is a creation of a New Zealand industrial designer, Becs, of course, who wanted to make a more personal and sustainable option for families saying goodbye. The idea started more than a decade ago when Becs was preparing for her Nana's funeral and was surprised by the limited range of caskets available, especially anything that felt personal or environmentally friendly. With a background in industrial design and experience exhibiting at the Milan Furniture Fair, she has set out to create something different. An eco-cardboard casket that was beautifully made, kind to the planet, it did not feel like a traditional casket. After 2 years of design, development, and testing, she launched Outside the Box Caskets in 2019. It became the first cardboard casket in New Zealand to become certified by Natural Burials New Zealand. So congratulations and welcome, Becs.
Thank you, Ed. Yeah, nice to meet you.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure for us to have you and introduce you to, not only the folks there in New Zealand, but, people internationally. And,
Yep.
What I love about what we do is that we can really get to find out, what got you, interested in this. So can you share a little bit about the path that you took in this
Yeah.
work and what inspired you to bring art and eco-conscious design into the New Zealand funeral space?
Well, like as you said, the idea started at my nana's funeral. Background in industrial design and furniture. So I just remember being at my nana's funeral and looking at her casket and thinking that's not her. Pretty scary looking, that traditional shape. I feel it's quite confronting. And then the idea that was from a long time ago, and then I guess I started about 7 years ago, longer than that actually, maybe 9 years ago now. I thought, well, why cardboard? I've always had an interest with cardboard, and so I started doing some market research, and so cardboard's been around a very, very long time. That caskets have, but then they don't look good. They're just boxes, and they're not fit for purpose. So I thought, what about creating something that actually looked nice, not so confronting, like looks good and actually fit for purpose. And it's not as simple as I thought it would be. So, and then that's how it all started, really.
Well, what's interesting is a lot of us, I say it on almost all of my interviews, we all kind of come from the same place. We didn't really choose the profession. Somehow we found our way into it.
No, I definitely didn't think I'd be here.
Well,
Yeah.
either did I, but it's a very rewarding and noble profession to be in, being able to help people this way. And with that being said, tell us a little bit about the range of funeral products that you create and you offer.
So right now it's the caskets, the cardboard caskets and urns. We've got like the plain DIY cardboard casket. So basically that's a blank canvas. So you can decorate it. It gets family involved, children involved, which is pretty important. Like there's data around that. Getting kids involved in that process is actually really healthy and part of the grieving process. So yeah, there's the plain craft, and then we've got in-stock printed lids. So that idea was just printing natural kind of imagery onto the plain craft. So kind of like a soft, natural look. And as of about 2 months ago, I've just launched a custom printed option. So families can actually fully customize the casket lid, photographs and anything they like, really. And then we can actually do a 3D model of all angles of what the casket will look like. So that's something I've always been wanting to do, and so that's exciting to be able to offer that now.
Absolutely, and what people come to understand about natural burial or eco-friendly funeral options is it's truly about the personalization, celebrating the life that was lived and really quite literally, in this conversation, thinking outside of the box, right? Feeling very comfortable within a space that typically makes people feel maybe uncomfortable, So I think it's great. I love the idea. And you talked a little bit about, what you're doing, as far as the design and production process. How do you source your materials? How long does it
Uh,
generally take to produce a casket? Is it something that's quick or slow, or what's the process?
I mean, it's at the beginning. There's a lot of engineering, so it's the casket's made up of a lot of different components. It took a while because the whole idea at the beginning, I wanted something completely biodegradable, so use I didn't use it. We haven't used any plastic, any glue, or any metal. So it's just cardboard, and we've got like some little dowel pins at the ends. So that was a bit of a challenge, but we finally got that right. And it's basically all about flute direction and layering. So probably very over engineered. It's weight tested to 320 kilos. Um, so I can sleep at night. So um, and in terms of manufacturing, yeah, I've got that sorted. It's the printing that's probably on top of that. So we'll have lids in stock, and then if someone wants a custom, we print just for them. So they're
Well,
not flat pack though. People seem to think cardboard. They just think cardboard's the same. All cardboard's the same. It's not. So it's actually specifically engineered board for my casket. So it's not just your normal fridge box kind of thing.
no, absolutely. And that's something that's kind of really interesting as part of the conversation is that people, in their everyday life, of course, understand cardboard boxes. I mean, in a world full of Amazon and Temu, you
Yes,
know,
yeah.
he certainly isn't there when it comes to those types of shipping containers. But, it's amazing that people probably don't think of the process and how much engineering
Oh,
goes into it to
no, they
create
don't.
something.
Definitely not.
Right,
Yep,
strong enough for a pallbearer per se, to
yep.
use to be able to carry that kind of weight. And I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
when you
right.
designed it, what kind of construction choices made that balance possible? What were you thinking of when you created that?
Uh, th- exactly what you said, pallbearers, because caskets that have been in the market for the last 20, 30 years, you can't carry them. You've never been able to. So that was something I set out to do. You need to be able to use it for a funeral service, and it had to look good. So there was a lot of testing, probably 2 years in my garage actually, with cement bags and um, little test rig. So there was a lot of failure. There was a lot of testing, and then I finally got it right, and so here we are. It's not a quick process.
No, absolutely not. And your printed designs like the fern or the coastal or the sunflower starry night,
Yeah.
they feel very intentional. How do you think about color, imagery, and visual storytelling when you design that casket? Are you thinking of something in particular, or just hoping to have a broad
Uh,
range for people?
Usually I just think of it's testing, actually testing different prints that I think might work. Um, and some are more popular than others. Definitely the coastal, the um, sunflower, and the floral design. They're probably the most popular. But it's having options. It's hard to tell, isn't it? What might be my favorite might not be someone else's. So you've got to have the options, and that's where the custom design comes in as well. So
And
can
that's what
create
really
it.
makes it very unique, that you're
Yes.
able to do something like that. Now, I
Yep.
love the concept. And, I've done this for many years, and I, had certainly many instances where people would use a product similar to yours, but they were more of the, DIY plain craft casket,
Yeah.
which invites
Yep.
families to draw, write, decorate, which is beautiful. I mean,
Mm.
when you've done this, have there been any types of artistic or creative expressions that have touched you the most when it comes to that?
Uh, I personally like it when you see families actually up close painting, handprints. I've seen people do like bright pink lids. Like there's so many cool things that families do, and it's special to see some of the things that they come up with. Um, yeah,
Absolutely. And I mean, when you think about it, it's that final act of kindness that they bestow upon their loved one. And it's a way for them
yeah,
to express not only their love, but the grief and everything that goes along with it. And I'm sure it's very
yeah,
cathartic. I
yeah. It
mean,
is.
has there been a particular piece or perhaps a funeral service involving one of your products that was
Um,
especially special or impactful for you?
Probably the first time when a close family friends wanted to use it for his dad, and it was quite daunting at the beginning because I'd just launched, and so seeing something that I'd created actually being used, and then like that another level of like it's a funeral, and there's a lot of feelings, and I feel quite honored to be able to do that, like not just for my people, but knowing that other families are using that for their loved ones. Like it's a pretty special feeling. So yeah.
Well, you're right. It's an honor,
Yeah,
it's
it
an honor
is.
to be able to
Yeah.
serve in that, especially in such an intimate, moment in one's
Yeah.
life. They'll always remember it. I
Mm.
always say we make funerals memorable, and that's a strange thing to say because who wants to remember a funeral, right? But
Yeah.
you're really there to remember the individual and the life that was lived. So that's why it
Right.
becomes special.
Yeah.
Well, it brings me to my favorite part of the conversation. I always like to know what you're thinking. Where would you hope to see outside the box caskets, let's say in 5 to 10 years? What would be your druthers?
Well, heading in the right trajectory at the moment. So, I mean, we're in Australia. We are about to launch in the UK this year, so that's kind of under wraps. Yeah, hopefully the US and different parts of Europe. So that's the plan. That's where I'd like to see it. So
Absolutely. Well, I mean, we here at the Global Green Burial Alliance, we really pride ourselves in bringing people like yourself to the forefront so people understand that these things are available. So anyone watching this, you know, uh, reach out to outsidetheboxcaskets.nz and
NZ,
ask,
yeah.
and see how Bex can, bring this special product, to other parts of the world. I mean, we really appreciate what you've done, and thanks for joining us today, Bex.
Thanks, Ed. Nice to chat to you.
Absolutely. Well, everybody, it's been a pleasure. This is the Global Green Burial Alliance, and this is Spotlight Now.